The Dragon Beneath the Snow. Once, in a valley where the mountains touched the sky and winter never ended, there was a village called Frostmere. The people of Frostmere were hardy and quiet. They built homes from stone and thatch, wore cloaks of wolfskin, and carved their histories into bone. For as long as anyone could remember, snow had never stopped falling, and the sun, though it rose, never melted the ice. The villagers had a saying passed down from their ancestors. Tread lightly where the snow is deepest, for beneath it, something dreams. Most thought it only a tale to keep children from wandering into the high passes. But old Mara, the village storyteller, would sit by the fire and whisper different words. "There is a dragon beneath the snow," she'd say, her fingers trembling around a cup of pine needle tea. A great white serpent, older than the mountains, coiled in slumber beneath the ice. And should it ever wake, children would gasp, elders would sigh, and the snow would keep falling. But not everyone feared the tale. There was a girl in Frostmere named Lisa. She was 15 winters old, with a wild streak in her heart, and more curiosity than caution. Her mother, a weaver, often scolded her for climbing trees in blizzards or venturing near the edge of the frost cliffs. "Dragons or not," her mother warned, "the cold will swallow you." But Lisa was not afraid of cold. She'd been born during a snowstorm so fierce that it buried the eastern barns, and Mara had declared then and there that the child was touched by winter itself. More than once, Lisa found herself staring at the peaks where the clouds curled like breath. Something up there called to her, not in words, but in a feeling, like the hush before a snowfall or the pause in a dream. Then one day, the snow changed. It was subtle at first. The flakes fell heavier. The wind began to hum strange tones at dusk, and one morning, the snowbank outside the village well had melted into a wide, glassy depression, as if something large had shifted beneath it. The elders gathered and debated for hours. Some wanted to send scouts, others said to wait. But Mara's face had gone pale. "It stirs," she whispered. "The dragon stirs." Lisa was listening from outside the hall when the words fell into her heart, like sparks into dry grass. That night, she couldn't sleep. At dawn, she packed her satchel with dried meat, a stone lantern, a copper knife, and a pouch of salt. Then, before the sun crested the peaks, she slipped out of Frostmere and headed toward the glacier called Wind Hollow Spine. No one knew what lay beyond Wind Hollow. The snow there was deeper than a tall man's height, and the wind sharper than any blade. But Lisa climbed steadily, guided by instinct and something else, something older than reason. She climbed for 2 days, lighting her lantern at night and sleeping beneath a lean-to of branches and fur. On the 3rd day, she found it. A hollow in the snow, vast and circular. The ice had cracked into a spiral, like the scales of some enormous beast. At its center was a mouth of black stone, shaped like a spiral horn and half buried by frost. Warm mist rose from it. Lisa approached cautiously. When she touched the stone, a low sound echoed beneath her feet. A voice, not of words, but of memory. "Come closer." She hesitated. Then, gripping her lantern, she stepped into the horn-shaped tunnel. Inside was warmth, thick, golden warmth like the breath of a cave beast. The walls glowed faintly with veins of crystal, and the floor was smooth, as though polished by centuries of passing feet, or scales. Lisa descended deeper and deeper until she reached a chamber vast as a cathedral, where frost clung to pillars of ice and the ceiling shimmered like a frozen sky. And in the center, asleep on a bed of snow and stars, was the dragon. It was unlike anything she had ever imagined. Its body was coiled like a mountain serpent, covered in scales that shimmered with every shade of white: silver, pearl, ash, snow, milk, moonlight. Its wings were tucked like folded sails, and its breath rose slow and steady. Lisa stood in awe. Then the dragon opened one eye. It was not threatening. It was sorrowful. "You came," it said, not aloud, but directly into her mind. "You are the last of the listeners." I heard something," Lisa whispered. The dragon stirred, the snow shifting beneath its body like waves. "Long have I slept to keep the fire beneath the world from rising. But the seals weaken. My dreams no longer hold." "I don't understand," Lisa said. "Long ago, I burned the skies and cracked the seas. I was rage and storm. But when I saw the ruin I had made, I chose to sleep, to cool the world with snow. This valley, your Frostmere, is the cradle of my slumber." Lisa stepped forward slowly. "You've kept the winter going all this time?" "Yes. And soon I must wake. The fire below grows restless. But if you wake, the snow will melt. The valley will burn. Unless," Lisa's voice was soft. "Unless what?" "Unless a soul takes my place." Silence. The dragon's breath curled around her. "It cannot be forced. It must be chosen. The dreamer becomes the seal. The price is forgetting. Your name, your shape, your voice. You will sleep, and the world will snow." Lisa stared at the dragon. It was vast and terrible and beautiful. And it was tired. She remembered Mara's stories, the warnings, the mystery. And suddenly she understood. It wasn't fear the village had preserved all these years. It was reverence. The dragon had not been a threat. It had been their shield. "If I do this, my people live, they will thrive. The snow will remain. Spring will bloom only in dream. And you? Where will you go? Beyond the mountains, beyond this world. I am not meant to last." Lisa looked down at her hands. They were chapped, rough from snow. They were real. She thought of her mother, her friends, her village. Then she looked up at the dragon. "I'll do it." The dragon lowered its head. "Then sleep, dreamer. Sleep and keep the fire below." In Frostmere, the snow stopped for one day. Just one. On that day, the sky turned clear blue, and the sun broke through, shining on rooftops and glittering trees. People came outside, blinking in wonder. Children threw snow that did not fall back down. The world held its breath. Then, as night came, the snow returned, soft and steady. Mara, sitting by her fire, felt a strange warmth in her chest. "She did it," she whispered. "The girl in the snow, she did it." No one understood, but in dreams that night, many saw a dragon flying into a sky of stars, and beneath the snow a sleeping girl, wrapped in scales of silver and frost. Years passed. Frostmere remained unchanged, always under snow. The tale of the dragon beneath the snow faded into legend again, retold by children in the square. But every winter solstice, the people placed a single lantern on the highest cliff, its flame blue and white. They did not know why, but something in the snow remembered. And far beneath, in the deepest part of the earth, a dreamer dreamed of fire held back, of peace beneath cold skies, and of a girl who gave everything so the world could sleep in winter forevermore.